Hello guys, it's Friday, and on Fridays usually a lot of people are gonna start playing with their diet adherence, and on weekends everyone believes that the calories somehow are not really as calorie rich as on regular days, and if we're lucky the fat cells won't notice that we ate a lot, and on Monday we're gonna get away with it. Well, nobody gets away with it because we can tell our bodies don't stay lean if we are not compliant with the fighter diet method. At least if you're like me, have no interest in doing what I call yo-yo dieting, which is you are a project person, you're really focused for a little time, you're married to one meal plan with a set amount of food or meals. Now you believe you're gonna be on that until you die because you want to. That's your kind of your high achievement kind of idea of who you are. It's not really who you are when you're hungry. So as a coach, I get the people's reports from what they are eating regularly. And my system, which you learn, is I have calorie budget system, which is to simplify for everyone who keeps on going back on their own word, who kind of self-sabotage by eating more at that moment when your body is losing fat, because now you get scared that, oh, what if I get too skinny? Well, you're already obese now, so you have to lose weight somehow or you're not going to be healthy. And I want to show you here the daily calorie intake average reports and how it can completely make you think that you are eating so little or so few calories, and how can you not get leaner? And that is just that your report and your idea of what it takes is kind of not really in the right order. So here I am to explain how it works. So let's say we're just gonna think about the calorie intake, and I'm thinking now that the calorie intake is just to make sure that we are talking the same language. We're not talking about the variety of foods, thermic effect, that something is gonna cause higher thermic effect of the food, that you're gonna burn more calories from digesting it and so on. Not about that. I'm just thinking that what you put there on the paper that you measure up is what you say, all right? So let's say 1600 here is a normal range on my calorie budget, which I usually have for 15 to 1800 is the perfect range for pretty much all women to get into a regular range. And now here comes all the critics who say, well, I'm an athlete and I need to do this, or I am too, I'm that. And so, okay, if you know how to do it, then do it. But here's the thing. All those complainers about how that is a loophole or that can't work, they're just asking because they don't want to change, or they want to do what they've always done but hasn't delivered the result they want. It's just human nature not seeing the elephant in the room. So I'm gonna stick to it here. What works for me is that all women are getting to the range where they feel this is where I want to have weight-wise. It's a healthy body range, and I'm not lean enough for that. Then what do you do then? So step one is getting to a healthy body weight range. If we put the calories on there, just do that, and then after that you can refine. And everyone notice that you're always smaller muscle-wise and fatter fat-wise than you believe when you're normal weight. So that's what everyone comes into. When everyone is a bodybuilder with a few years of training in their backpack, now they believe they're massive monsters under the flap. But losing the fat is catabolic and will break down some muscle too. And also, the fat mass on top of the muscle will make you think that you're jacked and buff. You're not, you're scrawny. Underneath the flap, we are all. And if you're case in point, everyone tells me that you're so skinny, you're so thin. Yeah, well, I'm buff and jacked when I'm naked, but I'm tiny in clothes. That is how you live long. I want to live until I'm 105. You bet I'm going to have a racing butt and wrinkly from top to toe. I want to be that. That's my goal. So back here now, 1600 on that day, say 1500 here, 1800, 1700. So in range, not 100% range, because you know that if you want to be 1815, that's a huge gap. So 300 over time adds up. But I want to show you how it can be here. Now on Friday, that the discipline tends to go bad here. People don't really want to have discipline over the weekend. You go back on your word, usually hang out with friends who are not fighter diet people, and now you wonder, oh, maybe I lost weight, maybe what if it's muscle? You start to second guess yourself. How do you know it was fat you lost? How do you know that you're not catabolic? You read into all the kind of, ooh, be scared now about everything you don't know, and you become scared that you're doing it wrong. You're listening to this part of your brain that says, You know that eating more is going to be better for your muscle, right? So eat more, you're going to be strong. Then you're going to train hard to build muscle. That's going to make you lean. Bullshit. You're just going to get fatter and stronger, but not leaner looking. You're not going to look like you're lifting. You're just going to be like a sausage. Not that I want to have that. I had never wanted to look off season. I just didn't have the discipline that it took for me to get the body I wanted to maintain. Because I knew it was always too hard for me to get in shape first. So I just like, I'm never going to get back. I can't afford it. It's too hard. So on Friday here, people will help themselves a little bit. So here's where you might have a little chocolate bar only. So let's say you're not even, might track it, but you're not really pay attention. You don't want to have that because you know you're going to have a refeed. You won't have a refeed, so you have to keep yourself together in order to deserve that. So that's a little bit over. Now, you will feel bad. You will feel that, oh, why did you quit on yourself? All or nothing. You should have known better. Now you're guilt tripping that you should have, kept it together. And how are you going to do this? Now you're going to gain fat. And you make it into this big snowstorm or like a storm. And that's just 500 calories. If you broke it down to what can you possibly gain if all those calories were all surplus and all was fat, what would it be? Well, let's say you were 500 calories over your maintenance. Divided by just 10 to kind of make it easier. 540. That's 2 ounces of body fat you wouldn't even be noticing on your body unless you shred as I am. I would then. But if you are not seeing your muscle mass, it's not true. You are just making into this tantrum that is just normal reaction for your body. So then here comes the big diet tsunami wave where people give up. Here comes the typical barbecue, social gathering, the events, the ice cream that shouldn't have happened. It's weekend and you are in the tantrum. You can't think. All you want is to just eat. And you know how bad it is, and you know the calories, but you don't want to be aware of it, so you kind of stop tracking. So this whole day, not tracked. Now, on the Sunday, the day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7, day 7. This is like the Sunday. That might be adding to a bad extra day, because it's going to come Monday. Monday going to start over again, because you know that you have to pull yourself together. You can't do this, you're going to get fat, right? But before that, a Sunday is perfect way to just eat a little bit more. So you might have a Sunday dinner and not really going overboard. Like 2,500, definitely not 1,600. So what do you think here now? Well, you're not going to want to admit this was going on. You're going to focus on this. It looks better in your mind, makes you feel better about yourself. That's what the human mind likes. It likes to be perfect. And when you're not perfect, you're going to hear that bad. The average person's, if I ask the person who did this, what would the average be? They would do it like this. I'm calculating with the so-called mini counter, big fat counter. I would do 1,600. Now I'm adding up all the daily, 1,500. Then I'm adding 1,800. I'm adding 1,700. I'm adding 2,300. But then I will not even do that one, but I will just say it was a little bit more, so I would just say 2,000. And we know that would probably 10,000 is easy. And if people say, oh, you can't eat that. You know how easy it is? 1 pint of Ben Jerry's at 1,200 calories, that's my whole calorie budget almost for getting shredded if I had to lose fat because I couldn't keep it together, I would have to be on 1,500 calories for 5-6 weeks or so. I have to work hard for my body. So then I have to do the 2,500 because on that day the person did pay attention. So the whole day is 13,400. That is the average calorie intake, or the total calorie intake the person says here. Remember, they completely romanticize and downplay this to 2,000 when that is more like 10,000. And if you wonder why we don't want to add up all the calories on the cheat days, because it's so nauseating to notice how easy it is to eat for 5 people without even noticing. So that is the 13,000. How are we going to make the whole false, fake average now? Because the surfing the diet tsunami wave here, which is what I call it, an unplanned, all or nothing, cheat day event, eat like a pig, then try to work it off and say, I'm never going to do it again. And believe it, it's what I call the diet tsunami surfing. So the diet tsunami wave surfing. You never get away from it. It's too, you can just, the whole thing is that you do this, and you maximize now because you're starving yourself a little bit, willpower. Now you're stuffing yourself. So you're maximizing the way that your fat cells can retain as much energy you are eating as possible because your body learns. So when you do this of cutting down and then increasing a lot and then have to break it down to starving for a few days, to compensate, you're just making your body thrifty and easy to hold on to food because it's scared. It doesn't know if you're gonna feed it or not. What does your body do to make sure that you are, protecting your life to not die? Well, it makes you thrifty. So when you do eat, it definitely super compensates and makes sure that it proliferates and increases fat cells, and that is easy to do if you are first losing fat and then can't keep yourself together. Now you are eating and gaining again. You are increasing all fat cells. Now more fat cells gonna want to be fattened up again. Because remember, they have a set point. You have to work really hard to set the set point where your body's comfortable more and more. And that is something that I don't really care about in fighter diet because I don't work the way other diets work. I work by adherence, compliance, making a better track record by patience and small moves, titrating calorie intake, titrating refeeds, a little by little, self-analysis, and not this all or nothing. That's how you do it, and you build your routine. And you learn what you can get away with, how often you can treat yourself, when you have to tap it off. You learn to pay attention to what your body and your mind and your cues are telling you when you listen. It's not the same as intuitive eating. It's about self-regulation, self-management, and understanding that we are all playing like candy. We're playing like kids in a candy store, and we have ad libitum access to anything at any time, and it's cheap. How are we going to control ourselves? It's playing to all our weaknesses. And you think we're strong? So 13,400 romanticized average. Now I have to divide it by 7 to get the average estimate, 1914. So the 1914 is the total average calories, and that was with a false idea here. And as you can see, 1914 is still not where the person wanted to be. So of course you're not losing fat. There's nothing wrong with your body. Your body just needs a trend that is more like seasons instead of weather changes like in Britain. It's like rain and then it's sunshine. Like what are you gonna wear? That's your body thinking like, what are we gonna do? So think about how we have planning for economy for having a nation. That's how your body works on a cellular level. Have to have all the systems, all the messages going around, and you are kind of an idiot thinking that you are trying to manipulate the universe because your body is a universe, a mini version. You have no chance. You have to dance tango. You have to do it that way. You cannot win if you go stubborn and I'm gonna show my body. I tried it for many years. It never worked. So what about if we make it now into thinking that it was 10,000 calories, which is very easy to eat, and I could make a list, but I have more things to do. I have to go into the group and be live. Cookie cutter, brownie batter makers. We're gonna have to do it again here. So we're gonna do 1600, now do the same thing. 1500, 1700, 2300, and 10,000. And an accuracy of a cheat day. I mean, one pound of candy, just Swedish candy, is like that's 2,000 calories just there. That's easy in a pound. Sounds much, but you just have never weighed it, guys. You think that what I say is outrageous, but you haven't looked at what the quality, the quantity of the food and how much calories in it. Haven't you seen the keto balls that are this small? Not that balls, but those. They have 250 calories. That's little. And now I forgot if I did the whole day, so I have to do it again. 1600, 1500, 1600, 1500, 1800, 1700, 2300, the 10,000, and then 2,500, and divided, that's 21,400 divided by 7, 3,057. So as you can see, that 3,057 calorie intake average is no wonder that person will gain fat and become obese in 2 years or so. And that is what I've told you, that we are not eating that much more calorie-wise compared to in the 70s, the 80s, when they wonder, ooh, how can we get so fat? Well, if you're eating 3,000 calories a day as a woman, you're pretty much eating 1,000 calories in surplus every day. 1,000 calories in surplus for 365, that's 365,000 calories. Now I have to count, now it's gonna go wrong, because each kilo has 7,000 calories, and I have to do the 7,000. I don't think I can get it right here. Every time I do this, I mess up. Yeah. How do I do that? 7,000, well, I can do it the other way. 7,000 times 50, just take it, 50. Yeah, okay. So 50 pounds, it's gonna be like 65 pounds. 65 pounds of weight gain. So if she started at, let's say, 140 and she's like 5'2", so a borderline, and then adding 65 pounds, that means you're 205, you're obese now. That can be 1 year of depression. And that isn't much. Like, and surplus 1,000 is like 1 chocolate bar and 1 sandwich. And remember, you don't have to be a compliant. You can be really good for some days, but that one is the big fat stopper that for months. That's why I'm telling you, you have to control those things. You gotta get that one down. You gotta get the rhythm so it's more like this. So you can stop yourself, you can wait, so if it goes in the wrong direction, you don't have to spend months working off because you lost it. So I give you the life hacks, how to do this, but you have to have patience. Alright guys, now I have one more event for today, and that's going to be showing my brownie batters and some stretching stuff. That's going to be in the live group. I'm going to see if I can do it live here on YouTube too, but if not, just you know, I'm building up all this. I'm super excited because Facebook has banned me, blessing in disguise. Now I have to go over here and build it up. Really good. I'm excited about showing all my moves the way I bodybuild, because I don't do what the world says, because if I did, I couldn't do what I do. Because everyone had told me that I cannot build muscle after surgery, I cannot build muscle after this point. Everyone has told me all my life that I can't do what I do, but I still do it. So learn from me and stop listening to the world and just do what makes you happy and stand up for it. And if you need help, join my F7. That's where you have the sisterhood, the fighterdiet community. That's when you're gonna notice that everything changes when you love what you do. That's how you become a fitness paradise addict. I love you, ladies. Have a wonderful weekend. If I don't hear from you again. If I don't see you, I mean.